Prepare for liftoff, as this week we take a look at the basics on the spaceship that brought the Transformers to Earth. The Vanguard-class Deep Space Interceptor, better known as the Ark. Named after the biblical story of Noah's Ark, the Ark was created by Marvel Comics writer Jim Shooter as part of the story treatment he wrote during the development of the Transformers franchise in 1983. Shooter's story, which was adapted to become both the first issue of the Marvel comic book and the first episode of the Transformers cartoon, told how Optimus Prime and his Autobots left Cybertron in the massive ship, but were attacked and boarded mid-flight by the Decepticons, which resulted in the Ark crash landing on prehistoric Earth, burying itself in a dormant volcano. The crash knocked all the Transformers aboard offline, in which state they remained for 4 million years, until the volcano erupted in 1984. The vibrations jarred the Ark's computer back online, and it in turn reactivated the Transformers. As the Cybertronian War began anew on Earth, the wreck of the Ark went on to serve as the Autobots' headquarters, as they set out to protect the planet against the Decepticons. This origin story was inspired by the famous real-life eruption of the volcano Mount St. Helens in 1980. In fact, Shooter originally intended for the volcano in his story to be Mount St. Helens, but it wound up being renamed Mount St. Hilary. Beyond this basic premise, the comic and the cartoon each told the story of the Ark in different ways. In the comic, the ship was white in colour with a boxy design, and its computer was named Anti. Per Shooter's outline, the ship had been built for the purpose of destroying a swarm of asteroids that were on collision course with Cybertron. The mission was a success, but it left the Autobots low on power when the Decepticons attacked. With no hope of winning, Optimus Prime was forced to make what he thought was a suicide play, deliberately crashing the Ark on Earth. A few years after their awakening, the Autobots managed to successfully repair the Ark and launched it into Earth orbit. But in the comic's final issues, the Decepticons seized control of the ship, and history repeated itself, as Autobot medic Ratchet crashed the Ark on Earth once more in hopes of destroying them. Sadly, his plan failed, and the comic's various sequels and spin-offs, including 1993's Generation 2 and 2012's Regeneration 1, would follow Megatron's efforts to use the ship and its technology for evil. In the cartoon, on the other hand, the ship was curving and golden yellow, and its computer was named Teletran 1. Here, eons of war had left Cybertron drained of energy, and the Ark's mission was to search other planets for new sources of power. The crash on Earth was an accident caused when the ship was caught in the planet's gravity during the chaos of the Decepticon attack. Now, in the cartoon, the names Ark and Mount St. Hilary were never actually used. Instead, the crashed ship and the volcano came to collectively be known only as Autobot Headquarters, as the Autobots turned the entire mountain into their base, building elevators, passageways, and more throughout it. In time, though, the volcano would be replaced as the Autobots' primary Earth base by the larger Autobot City, and the ship and the volcano were eventually destroyed by the giant Decepticon, Trypticon. In the years since the end of the original series, it's become pretty standard for new series to base their depictions of the Ark on the version from the cartoon. The first to do this was 1996's Beast Wars, in which the descendants of the Decepticons from centuries in the future, the Predacons, travelled back in time to prehistoric Earth, intending to alter history by locating the Ark while it was offline within the volcano and killing the sleeping Optimus Prime. But their plans were foiled by the Autobots' descendants, the Maximals. However, most new series created in the early 21st century opted not to include the classic origin story of the Ark crashing on prehistoric Earth, instead creating new stories about how the Transformers arrived on our world that didn't involve the ship. The Ark did still appear in some of these series, but it was often reimagined in a variety of different ways. For instance, in Transformers Cybertron, the Ark was a planet-sized ship created by the Transformers god Primus by fusing 4 other starships together, through which he could channel his power. In IDW Publishing's comic books, the name Ark was used for a numbered series of ships, of which there were at least 32. The first of these Arks, after which the others were named, was built by the fascist Autobot leader Nova Prime in the distant past, and left Cybertron on a mission to colonize other planets, but became lost in the undead parallel dimension, the Dead Universe. In the world of the live-action movies, 2011's Dark of the Moon featured the Ark as a ship captained by Optimus Prime's predecessor, Sentinel Prime, which was long ago set adrift in space after being damaged while attempting to escape Cybertron. It eventually crashed on Earth's moon in 1961, kicking off the space race as the nations of Earth strove to be the first to reach the moon and plunder the wreck. Transformers Animated did feature a version of the original ship crash origin story, but in this series, the role of the Ark was taken by a small space bridge repair ship named the Orion, which was secretly the stasis-locked alternate mode of the giant Autobot Omega Supreme. As the Transformers franchise moved into the 2010s, Hasbro sought to unify their approach to storytelling with the introduction of the aligned continuity. As told through media like the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron video games, and the tie-in novel Exodus, this universe firmly re-established the classic cartoon-inspired story of the Ark as the massive ship built to transport Optimus Prime's Autobots off Cybertron due to the planet becoming drained of energy as the definitive origin story for the new decade. The novels Exiles and Retribution detailed how the Ark went on to visit some of Cybertron's colony planets on a quest to locate the long-lost life-giving Allspark that could restore their world. But oddly, the story of how the ship came to Earth in this continuity was never actually told. Regardless, the basic idea of the Ark leaving behind a dying Cybertron to search for the Allspark has since become the standard depiction of the ship in modern Transformers lore. Building on this, the Ark played a prominent role in 2018's Transformers Cyberverse, which offered a new take on the traditional Crash to Earth storyline. In this version of the tale, Bumblebee was thrown from the Ark as it fell through Earth's atmosphere and landed in the Himalayas. When he awoke in the present day, his search for the crashed Ark formed the backbone of the show's first season, culminating in him finding the ship buried in Mount St. Hilary and bringing it and his friends back online. The first ever toy of the Ark was a small die-cast metal model released in the Titanium series toy line in 2006, which was strangely mostly based on the 1978 Milton Bradley spaceship toy, the Starbird. There have been a few others over the years. The live-action Ark was released in the Dark of the Moon toy line, able to open up into a battle station and packaged with a figure of Autobot pilot Roller. In 2012, the Transformers Cybertron Unicron figure was released as part of Japan's Transformers United toy line, with a new backstory that described how his disembodied spirit had possessed the Ark and transformed it into an alien tank. A pop-up cardboard diorama of Autobot headquarters was available at San Diego Comic-Con in 2014, and the Cyberverse toy line included the Ark as an accessory with the Arc Power Optimus Prime figure, which became a suit of armor for the Autobot leader. But the crown jewel of Ark toys was released in 2021's Kingdom toy line, a huge golden spaceship that transformed into a 19-inch tall robot mode. The figure even came with a transforming Teletran 1, which could convert into the Autobot mainframe and fit inside the Ark itself, becoming its bridge. The story behind this startling new transformation was told in Netflix's War for Cybertron cartoon. Here, the Ark arrived on prehistoric Earth by travelling outside of space and time through the dead universe, an experience that gave Teletran 1 a glimpse of multiple alternate futures, including one where the Ark had a robot mode. In a twist to the usual formula, the Ark's subsequent crash didn't knock the ship or its crew offline, and Teletran, acting on its vision, immediately began reformatting the Ark to transform. With a final power boost from the Allspark, the ship was able to assume robot mode and took out the Decepticon vessel, the Nemesis, with one mighty punch. With its head based on the Autobot symbol itself, the Ark's robot mode seems to draw some inspiration from the Marvel comic character, the Last Autobot. But whatever form it takes, the ship remains an iconic part of the Transformers universe, even if it is best known for crashing. And those are the basics on the Ark. If you've enjoyed this look at Transformers history and lore, hit the like button and subscribe for over 150 more videos like this one. Ring the bell to be notified about future episodes, or get early access to them by supporting the show on Patreon.